Well, welcome back, everyone. You know, when you think about fall, you might think about football, but the famous Lindsey Gallagher from Johnny Appleseed is not here to talk about football. Lindsey.
No, I wish I could. That's what the start of September means, football season to me. But I'm here to talk about those animal mascots. That's a great way to tie in my love of the sport. And we have an excellent example of an animal mascot right in our own backyard with those Bluffton Beavers. So I thought we'd catch a little beaver fever this morning and talk about these really cool critters. So the first thing that I would like folks to know about beavers is that they are an essential wetland keystone species and one of nature's original ecosystem engineers. And what that means is that when beaver are in an area, they have a significant impact on the land in relation to their abundance on that land. So it only takes a few beaver, actually just maybe one beaver family, to exert a really positive impact in an area. And they're doing this by altering the landscape. So I called them ecosystem engineers. That means they can change the environment to suit their own lifestyle. And when you think of beavers, what are the structures that you think of them building?
A dam.
A dam, yeah. So dams are actually really important, not only to the beaver's lifestyle, but to the entire ecosystem. So dams are meant to slow or stop the flow of water. And for a beaver, that means that the area behind the dam will be flooded, and it creates an area of calm water to build their lodge. A lodge is the structure that a beaver also builds, which they live in to keep their family, and it requires underwater entrances. So we've got this calm area of water, and we've got a plentiful food supply all around that lodge. Now, in creating a habitat for himself, the beaver also creates habitat for other wetland species. So the wood ducks come in, the frogs, the fish, and the muskrats. The wetlands themselves also really help water quality, especially in this area of Northwest Ohio. So they act as a sink where the land can pull water from in times of drought, but then it also helps to stave off the flood waters. So it will stop slop and slow erosion in that area. It can also filter out pollutants and filter out sediments. So how do the beavers get to building all of this stuff,
Good question.
right? They've got some really unique adaptations, and we can see some of the logs up here, logs, twigs, that they have chewed on, right? So I have some examples. They're kind of small, but I have the lower jaw of a beaver here.
Wow.
And this is what the beavers are actually going to use to chop down small saplings. They're usually going after smaller diameter branches, twigs, and saplings, but they're using their teeth. So when beavers are chewing, they actually are using their mouth and chewing through the wood there. And you'll notice that there's an interesting color on that tooth, right? What color is that?
It's like an orangish.
Yeah, so it's actually from the iron in the enamel. It helps reinforce those teeth. Now, I have another smaller skull. This is the cousin. It's a complete skull, and you can see on top. So beavers are rodents. They're actually North America's largest rodents, and that means that they have front and lower incisors, those front teeth there, that are constantly growing. So they have to chew and gnaw. It's part of their behavioral ecology, and this was a muskrat small, so much smaller than the beaver, but working in the same way. And again, you can see some of the different patterns that the beavers are making on these smaller diameter twigs and branches. They're going to kind of clip them off at an angle. This is a sign a beaver in your area. And then on larger trees, you might see kind of this pointed design where they're going to go around the outside. They're actually looking for the cambium layer. They got to get through the bark to this regenerative cambium layer, and they'll go around in a ring, and you've probably seen that idea out in the forest here. So they actually girdle the tree that way and kill the tree. Now, they also have paws with claws, so they can pack all that mud in, and then a beaver has that special tail. But it's a myth to say that the beaver uses his tail to pack. The tail is actually used as a counterbalance when the beaver's on land because they're a little bit clumsy, and the tail can give that big old warning slap so when danger's coming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well, we've got, do you see something off screen there?
I do.
What is that coming through?
I do.
Our very own Bluffton Beaver here today. Football season is alive here in Lima.
All right. Well, Lindsey, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate you explaining all about the beaver. We're going to leave it to beaver.
There you go.
Leave it to this beaver.
We should.
All right. Well, don't go away because we have more when we return.